stupid people of Reddit, what is the stupidest thing you've done? Responded to my own Craigslist ad looking for a roommate. I literally thought she sounds cool and only realized after I received the email from myself. It's nice that you like yourself though. I was riding my bike and wondered what would happen if I stuck my feet in the spokes of my front tire. Answer: flipped over the handlebars, broke my 2 front teeth and road rash on half my face. Late for work, running around the house looking for my keys, ran upstairs, saw them on the desk, pointed at them and said to the air, "There they are." I was nearly to the front door before I realized I didn't actually pick them up. I'm picturing you going to the store just to note the location of needed groceries and then returning home. I got high off my ass on tranquilizers and alcohol. That would already be stupid enough, but my sauced up brain had bigger plans. Being done with my bender, I decided to go home by public bus, which I had just missed and could see driving down the road. So I did exactly what would be the reasonable and responsible thing to do. I flagged down the cop car that was approaching and asked him to pull over the bus. He asked if I had been drinking, so I said yes. That's why I am taking the bus home instead of driving. He said he'd give me a lift and I got in. I have no recollection of what happened next until the next day, but my mom told me a very nice police officer dropped me off at home and I had drooled all over his back seat. Dang, you are a lucky son of a bee. I work as a substitute middle school teacher. At the beginning of each day the kids listen to the announcements. One time they announced that one of the students who had been battling cancer passed away the night before. So me, being the great guy I am, give the students 5 minutes of time to sit quietly and reflect. Then I decide to lighten the mood by calling attendance, so I use a bizarre inflection to entertain the students. Called out Tyler, no response. Call it out again, no response. Finally one student piped up and said that was the kid that died the day before. This was after I called his name out several times with differing tones of voice to be comical, while all the students saw was me bashing the dead kid. Frick. In a spelling bee I spelled the word Python, Python. I was quickly reminded that eth is not a letter, though to this day I think that maybe it should be. I woke up one night, saw a hand on my pillow, started to freak out, froze, waited, decided I'd move, screamed and jumped when the hand moved. It was my hand. I once fell asleep with my hand above my head so it fell completely asleep. In the middle of the night a hand flopped on my chest completely numb. So I woke up with a hand on my chest that I couldn't feel. Scared the crap out of me. Opened up a carton of orange juice and noticed it said shake well before use. Proceeded to violently shake the holy heck out of the carton as it rained vitamin C goodness over the kitchen and me. Housemate walked in and asked what the frick is wrong with you, as if I'd done it on purpose and was thoroughly enjoying my OJ shower. I turned left onto a one-way street, where I should have went right. Not so bad until I panicked and then did U-turn around the median onto yet another one-way street. Still going the wrong way. Enter my first, and only, car accident. I farted one time when I was little. I thought, how can I get my butt to stop smelling so bad? My solution? Spray air freshener up my ass. I spent the next couple minutes writhing in pain with a burning booty hole. When I was little my younger brother was in the bathroom making an awful smell, so I go in and spray air freshener on his bare butt. It was one of those all natural air fresheners with a ton of orange oil in it. He spent the next hour or so sobbing with a bright red ass while my mom frantically called the poison control center and the urgent care clinic to figure out what to do. I stapled my finger to see if stapling my finger was possible. Can confirm, it is. Oh, this reminds me when I hole punched my hair thinking that I'll get a perfect circle all surrounded by hair. I was so shocked when it cut my hair and I just couldn't understand why for too long a time. One time I went through the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts and stopped at the trash can instead of the speaker for about 5-8 minutes repeatedly saying hello. Oscar must have been on lunch break. Back to girl's house after dinner. She has early class the next day so gets ready for bed, but says I can stay and keep her company for a while. Laying in her bed, she's in silk pajamas, I'm fully clothed, we're just talking. I start running my hand up and down her back. She says you'd better stop that, I'm getting turned on. So I stopped, like a freaking idiot. In your defense, She did say stop. Instructions unclear, not your fault, haha. I put an umbrella handle in my mouth and pushed a button to release the umbrella. I thought the umbrella would shoot out the front of my mouth and open. Instead, the handle extended back into my mouth and broke my front teeth. No idea why I thought that. Oh, I know why. I was 11 and I thought for 5 months I invented masturbation and even told my friends about it. My 5 months of fame. You invented it. I invented it. It has been invented many times. I clicked on a p-link at work thinking that if I closed the window really fast the system wouldn't know. No, that totally works. When I was younger I snail mailed $20 with no address and 7-year-old writing saying ebay.com with a letter inside saying what I wanted to buy. When I was younger I got kicked out of ballet class because I kept running into the mirrors thinking they were open windows or like portals to another world or something. Friend came to my house, knocked on my door. When I answered it I was greeted with "Hey, are you home?" No. Last weekend my friend asked for a ride across town since he left his phone at a bar the previous night. Somehow I heard car instead of phone, so dropped him off and drove home. I don't answer calls while I'm driving since I'm a bad driver too, so didn't realize I missed 3 of his calls till I got home. I'm sure there's others but my memory's going pretty fast as well. Not me, but a friend of mine was dead serious and asked why don't wheelchairs have pedals for when your arms get tired. Missed the school bus and potential rides to school one morning because I couldn't find my backpack. Eventually realized it was on my back. Looking for my phone using the flashlight app on my phone. I asked my wife who was upstairs to drop my phone down to me. As it was falling I thought it would be cooler to catch a phone with one finger. It wasn't. When my girlfriend asked why I am always late when going to her place, my response was I'm only late for things that aren't important. Dude. I was taking a crap once while browsing Reddit, wiped my ass with the other hand, stood up, and threw my phone in the toilet. I just stood there, said what the frick and looked at my crap covered toilet paper. One of my exes and I met in the city. We always went on dates in the city and never close to where we lived. I had just moved to the area. I had heard of the place he lived in but didn't think it was close to where I lived, and never really thought about it. Then I started staying over at his place, and when I was going home the following afternoons I would take the tram into city center, 20 minutes, and then get the bus to my house, another 40 minutes. I honestly thought the village he lived in was far from my house, so I took the route I knew. Turns out he lives a 10-minute walk away. I did this like 8 times. I was eating a strawberry Pop-Tart while spotting a friend who was bench pressing a significant amount of weight in the gym in his basement, while loud, angsty heavy metal was blaring through a boombox. Team America happened to be on mute on the TV facing the bench. Midway through one of my friend's last sets, Gary gave the infamous signal. I giggled, and a big dollop of strawberry mush drool fell from my mouth directly into my friend's mouth, causing him to awkwardly drop the bar on his neck and break his clavicle. I'm not allowed to spot no more. I once started talking crap about a friend who I'd forgotten we had just picked up and was sitting in the backseat of the car. This one still keeps me up at night. How on earth? What was his reaction? Tied a couch behind a truck with tow straps, rode on the couch down a gravel road. Smell burning as couch legs begin to catch fire from friction. Couch leg catches in a pothole and bucks me 5 feet into the air. Have brief moment of immediate regret. Spend next week sitting very carefully as my ass no longer had any skin on it. I had diarrhea at the beach from eating seafood, and still decided to go on a long walk. I ended up stranded and found a log facing the beach to sit on and surreptitiously poop. Covered it in the big sandbox, as it were, pulled up my bikini bottoms, and felt relief, only to stand up and realize that there was an entire family sitting on their beach house deck behind me. They saw everything. I had diarrhea at the beach once. I decided to use the big toilet that is the ocean instead of pooping in the sand like some sort of animal. I was trying to light my gas stove with a lighter but the lighter just wouldn't spark, so I set it down and tried another one. Once that worked I went about my way cooking my con carne. Didn't realize that the plastic of the lighter was melting, and once it melted, a hole in the side, it exploded as I was cooking. Scared the everesting crap out of me, so I walked into my lounge to ask my housemate if he'd heard it. He said that he assumed you'd hit your head or something because of how clumsy I am. After a night of drinking, we went back to my then boyfriend's place to chill. He turned on the TV, but I had other ideas. I pulled the rolling chair away from his computer desk, placing myself between him and the TV. I turned the chair backward, threw my leg over in what I thought was going to be a seductive manner, whipping my hair a little. Ended up putting my foot down on the edge of the wheelie part on the other side, rolled my ankle, and my momentum carried me all the way over to the floor. I hit the ground, the chair back smashed my face, and my nose started bleeding. Not my brightest moment. I had a friend that was naked wrestling with her boyfriend in his bedroom. He threw her on the bed, but she landed oddly and bounced off onto the floor where there was a leftover dirty plate from the night before. She crushed it with her ass and had to go to the ER for stitches. I'm walking to work, dressed as an office drone, dress pants, dress shirt, no tie, wingtips. I see some construction workers ahead waving frantically at me. What the heck do those guys want? Take one more step, plop, right into the wet cement sidewalk panel they had just made. To answer the obvious questions, yes, there were pylons and warning signs, etc. I was an oblivious idiot. My dog wants to contribute 1, so I'm on the front of a boat and we're going like 30 miles per hour. I'm just staring into the wind with my tongue flopping around, like any other dog would. Then I see that stupid freaking brown thing down by my ass again. You know, that furry thing that sometimes attaches to our butts until we chase it around for a few minutes and start thinking about something else. I chased that sucker straight off the front of the boat, and it ran us over. I'm alright though. One time I tried to fart while playing online poker really late while my girlfriend was asleep. About half of the fart came out before I realized more was on its way out too. I caught that before it was too late and jumped up and started to run to the bathroom. I had headphones on and yanked my head to the left and pulled my tower over as I kicked a 25-pound weight on the floor, broke my toe and then crap all over myself. I think you win. This is hilarious. Called my girlfriend a big girl for finishing her dinner. I can probably make this jump every single time. You know how you see stupid exam answers? At the age of 12, the whole year group had to sit an exam to find out what groups we would be put in for science the next year. It asked us to draw and label a table and its uses. I literally drew a freaking table with some smug little C reading a book at it. I even labeled the freaking book as book and the table and its legs. I still made the top set for science. Every science teacher got a photocopy of that freaking diagram. Every single freaking one. It was pinned to walls, doors, smartboards. Literally, every freaking gadget and mink in my school knew about my monumental frick up. I asked my friend if he had got his car back from the garage while we were sitting in it. I am not a smart man. Touched a light bulb and held my finger there to see if I would get burned. I did. Barber while cutting my hair asks, what do you do for a living? I replied, I'm an accountant. You? This happens in movie theaters and airports all the time. Enjoy the show. You too. Have a good flight. You too. Wanted to make a panini, so got my panini press. Noticed a small piece of metal poking out of the plug, so pushed it in with my thumb. Whilst it was plugged in and switched on. Haven't been able to face a panini since. You have been visited by the money cat, like for good luck and fortune. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.